On today's episode of Small Biz TV, we are going to talk about the importance of having a closing process. Hi folks, I'm Steve the Hurricane.
And I'm Nick Bonatadovus.
This is Small Biz TV. Alright, this is it. This is the best part. This is what we waited for. This is where we get to exchange money for services or goods and products, right? Closing. Now I pride myself on being able to train people on how to close. I'm going to give you an example in a minute here. But having a closing process is probably, I'm going to say top 5, maybe top 3 most important things you need to have in your business. Because obviously you got to know your target customer, and then how are you going to get the target customer to come to you to buy products or services from you. But once you get them to come through the door, once you get them on the phone, how do you convert them from a prospect to an actual client? That's your closing process. This is super important. I always think back to my very first job that I had in college where I sold Cutco knives. I would literally go door to door. I would set up appointments, show up at someone's house, sit down, talk to them for about 40 minutes with a sales process, selling $800 set of knives, okay? And I do that for a second because when you think about it, it's $800. And that's what it was in 2000 and 2001, so I don't even know what it is now, right? So selling these knives, when I walked in the house, guess what they already had? Knives. They already had cutlery, okay? The process, walking them through, trying, demonstrating, going through the history of the business, why I represented the company, what I was there to do, talking about their knives versus our knives, talking about the knives, the samples that people would get to use, and the things that we would cut. By the end of it, they're like, yes, I gotta have this. And then I obviously had to ask for the business. This is something that's so important. I don't even have enough time. I actually train people for hours and days and weeks on how to create a closing process. But I promise you, the effort that you put into it, the training that you get to know how to close, that will easily add another 0 at the end of your business. You want to be a 7-figure business, you got to know how to close. And it can't just be you as the business owner. It's got to be everybody in your organization. And I go back to the bagel store and the deli counter, for example. You can't just have the one person who's the front end person. Everybody should be able to talk to a customer. Everybody should be able to close. Everybody should be able to upsell and add. Do you want to add fries with that? Would you like to get a drink with that? Can I get you anything else? These are all closing things which help to build additional revenue. If you sell a bagel and somebody gets a cup of coffee, but then they decide to get a candy bar for later on in the day or a bottle of water, that's an extra sale which goes on top of your original sale that you've had made. And it's very little things, because at the end of the day, I know, I'm a salesman, all right? So sales are easy for me. But for most of us out there, we're not salespeople. When we hear the word sales, it's like, oh, I don't want to be, you get skeeved out. You don't want to be the sleazy salesperson. You got to realize, sales is what? It's customer service. That's what it really is. And I'm going to give you an example. In my business, Hurricane Marketing Enterprises, I've developed a sales training closing process. And every single person in my organization, from our executive assistant all the way through the director of operations, director of business development, they all know how to close. Jennifer was an intern over the summer, right out of college. Never sold a thing a day in her life. Sales intimidated her. She's a public relations major, so she knows how to do press releases and social media and all that good stuff, but she never sold anything a day in her life. Extremely nervous about selling. I trained her on the process. Now, every single day, and I mean every single day, someone calls in, she answers the phone, she listens to them, she walks them through what we offer that fits within their budget and their need after hearing what their challenges and problems are. And then guess what? She makes a sale. Jennifer, putting this in perspective, in the last 6 months brought in almost $100,000 in revenue over the phone just talking to people. $100,000. Never sold a thing a day in her life. Over the last 6 months, she was able to generate that. How? By having a closing process. And you can actually see the testimony. I'm sure Nick will put it up in the video for you so you can see what she wrote on my LinkedIn page about being able to sell. Because it all comes down to customer service and having a closing process that's tried and true. So, that's the tip for the day. If you need help with the closing, if you want help with the closing process, do some research, find a company that offers training on closing, and watch what happens to your business when you've been able to replicate yourself with all of your staff members in your organization. Have a great day. If you like this episode and you want to see more, click on subscribe, and we'll see you next week.